Hi guys! Tonight, Kezia wanted to read the story to you. Can you say hi, Kezia?
Hi.
She wanted to read to her nieces and nephews and to any other little people that want to listen. And tonight she's going to read Curious George and the Firefighters.
This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George and his friends, the man with the yellow hat, joined Mr. Gray and her class on their field trip to the fire station. The fire chief was waiting for them right next to a big red fire engine. "Welcome," he said, and he led everyone upstairs to begin their tour. There was a kitchen with a big table, and there were snacks for everyone. The fire chief told them all about being a firefighter. George tried hard to pay attention, but there were so many things for a little monkey to explore, like that shiny brass pole in the pole in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the pole go? That pole go? George was curious. Why it went back downstairs. There was the great big fire engine. There was a map of the city, and there was a whole wall of coats and hats and big black boots. Black boots.
Mm-hmm.
George had an idea. First, he stepped into a pair of boots. Next, he picked out a helmet. And finally, George put on a jacket. He was a firefighter. Suddenly, bring!
Good job.
The firefighters all rushed in. "This is not my helmet," said one. "My boots are too big," said another. "Hurry, hurry," called the fire chief. And bright red light on the map of the city told him just where the fire was. There was no time to waste. One by one, the firefighters jumped into the fire engine, and so did George. The fire engine, all the firefighters sped out of the fire station, and so did George. The sirens screamed and the lights flashed. The engine turned right. Then it turned left. Woo, 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 went the horn, and George held on tight. Woo, woo, woo. And just like that, the fire engine and all the firefighters pulled up to a pizza parlor on Main Street. Smoke was coming out of a window. In the back a crowd was gathering in the street. "Thank goodness you're here," cried the cook. The firefighters rushed off the truck and started unwinding their hose. They knew just what to do. And George was ready to help. He climbed up on the hose reel.
Yeah.
One of the firefighters saw George trying to help, and he took George by the arm and led him out of the way. "A fire is no place for a monkey," he said to George. "You stay here where it's safe." George felt terrible. George sat on the bench and looked around. Next to him on the ground was a bucket full of balls. George reached in and took one out. It fitted in his hand just right, like the apple he had for a snack. A little girl was watching George. He tried to give her the ball, but she was too frightened. George took another ball and another. Look, a boy said, that monkey is juggling. The boy took a ball and tossed it to George, but it went too high. George climbed up onto the fire engine to get it. Now George had 4 balls to juggle. He threw the balls higher and higher. He juggled with his hands and he juggled with his feet. He could do all kinds of tricks. The boy threw another ball to George. George threw a ball back to the boy. The little girl reached down and picked up a ball. Too soon, all the children were throwing and catching back and forth. The fire chief came to tell everyone that the fire was out. Just then the little girl laughed and said, "Look, Mommy, a fire monkey." "Hey," called the fire chief, "what are you doing up there?" "What a wonderful idea," the little girl's mother said to the fire chief. "Bring his brave little monkey to help children when they're frightened." "Oh," the fire chief said, "well, thank you." Before long, the fire engine was back at the fire station, where a familiar voice called, "George!" It was the man with the yellow hat. "This little monkey had quite an adventure," said one of the firefighters. "Is everyone all right?" asked Mr. Gray. Mrs. Gray?
Good.
"Yes, it was just a small fire," said the fire chief, "and George was a big help." Now the field trip was coming to an end, but there was one more treat in store. All the children got to take a ride around the neighborhood on the shiny red fire engine, and they got their very own fire helmet, even George, and it was just the right size for a brave little monkey.
Okay, and then she's gonna read out of this book. Here, show the cover. Jesus Calling Bible Storybook, and tonight we're on the story of Noah.
Adam and Eve had Cain. Cain had children. His children had children, and their children had children. The earth became full of people. Sadly, most of them forgot about God and did bad things. This filled his heart with pain. God was so sad about it that he had to stop it. He wanted to make the world better. There was one man in all the world who walked with God. His name was Noah. God told him, "Noah, build an ark and pack it with enough food for you and your family, and for the male and female animals. I will send your way. Then enter the boat, all of you." Noah did what God said, and the animals came in pairs: lions and lambs, butterflies and horses, bluebirds and bears, foxes and elephants. Just as God told Noah, it began to rain. First just a little, then big raindrops pounded the earth. Hundreds of raindrops, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. There was so much water that the ground started to flood. In Noah's ark, which carried Noah, his family, and every kind of animal in the world. started to float. Before long, the whole earth was covered with water. God's flood destroyed the bad things and washed them all away. Yet everyone and everything in the ark were safe and sound, because Noah did what God said. After 40 days and 40 nights, the rain stopped. The sun came out slowly, the water went down. God's boat came to rest on the top of a tall mountain. Noah sent out a dove to look around. It had no place to land, so it came back to the ark. Noah waited 7 days and then sent it out again. It returned with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. The flood is over, Noah shouted. Trees are growing again. To celebrate the world's new beginning, God hung a rainbow in the sky. I will never again use a flood to destroy the earth, God said. This rainbow is my promise to all of my people. God knew that the bad things would happen again, but he already had another plan. One day he would send his son Jesus to save his children from evil. Jesus calling. The Lord will cover you with his feathers. He will shelter you with his wings. His faithful promise are your armor and protection. Psalms 91:4.
Good.
Trust me, my child, and don't be afraid. I take care of my children, just as a mother bird covers her babies with her wings to protect them. I cover you with promises of my love. When you see a rainbow in the sky, remember my love and care of Noah's family. Then think about how much I love you.
We hope you liked the stories tonight.
Good night.
Good night.